The station hung silently in orbit around Zyphora, its metallic surface glinting faintly in the pale light of the distant sun. Captain Alex Harper floated in the docking bay of his ship, the Starlance, adjusting the straps of his suit. The mission had been simple on paper: investigate an abandoned research station and ensure that no dangerous tech had been left behind. In reality, Alex knew simple missions were never simple when alien technology was involved. The doors to the station hissed open, revealing a long corridor filled with shadows and silence. Alex switched on his helmet lights, scanning the walls for any signs of activity. The station was old, far older than humans had anticipated, yet the technology inside was advanced beyond comprehension. Panels blinked with alien symbols, and corridors twisted in ways that made human navigation difficult. As he moved forward, a voice whispered through the comm system, soft yet deliberate. "You want to know if I'm not wearing anything underneath?" Alex froze. His instincts screamed caution, but he also understood the context. In alien terms, the question was likely a test or a trap. He scanned the corridor, seeing nothing at first. "Who's there?" he asked, his voice steady. A shimmer in the air caught his eye. At first it seemed like a trick of the light, a reflection from the panels. Then slowly, a figure took shape. A woman, or at least something humanoid, but she wasn't fully solid. Alex realized she was cloaked with advanced holographic technology. Her form appeared and disappeared like water flowing in and out of focus. "You see me now," she said, her voice echoing lightly in the empty corridor. "Do you think you understand what's real?" Alex took a cautious step forward. "I don't know what you are, but I know this station is dangerous. I'm here to investigate, not fight." The figure laughed softly, a sound like wind brushing over metal. "Investigation? You humans are always so confident. Do you know the power you are walking into?" Alex's mind raced. He had trained for encounters with hostile life forms, but this was different. This wasn't an enemy, yet not entirely friendly either. Something about her movements, the way the light bent around her, suggested intelligence, and perhaps a purpose beyond simple defense. "I don't need to know everything to act," he said, trying to assert control. "If this station holds weapons or tech that can harm others, I'll stop it. That's what humans do." The figure shimmered again, closer this time, and for a brief moment Alex saw her clearly, tall, slender, with piercing blue eyes that seemed to see through him. "Humans," she said slowly, almost thoughtfully. "So full of determination, so unpredictable." Alex frowned. "I don't have time for riddles, I need answers. Why are you here?" A silence stretched between them, the hum of the station filling the space. Finally, the figure moved backward, fading slightly into the shadows. "Perhaps you'll discover that on your own." Despite the warning, Alex pressed forward. He had sensors, devices that could detect energy emissions, even from cloaked tech. As he passed an alcove, a faint pulse appeared on his handheld scanner. Someone, or something, was hiding. Not fully invisible, but nearly so. Alex adjusted the settings, amplifying heat signatures and electromagnetic disturbances. Slowly the figure became more tangible, more real. "Impressive," the figure said, her voice closer now, tinged with amusement. "You can see what others cannot, but can you act on it?" Alex moved carefully, his eyes scanning every corner. The figure had started leading him, but not aggressively, more like guiding him, testing his abilities. The corridor ended in a wide chamber filled with alien machinery, some still active despite centuries of neglect. The air hummed with energy, and Alex felt the faint vibration through his boots. The figure materialized fully at the center of the room, stepping lightly across the metallic floor. "This station was not abandoned to you," she said. "It was abandoned by my people, yes, but it is not unguarded." Alex's hand hovered near his sidearm, but he didn't draw it. He knew he needed to understand before acting. "I don't want trouble. If you are guarding something dangerous, I can help secure it. Let's not escalate." A pause, then she tilted her head. Help, you human, why should I trust you? Alex considered. Because if I don't, someone else will come. Someone who won't hesitate to destroy everything here. I am human. We survive, but we also protect. That is what makes us different. For the first time, the figure seemed to hesitate, her holographic form flickering as if she were considering his words. Different, she murmured. Perhaps you are worth observing after all. The chamber was quiet again, the soft hum of machines the only sound. Alex could feel the tension in the air, the test that was unfolding silently. He knew that understanding this alien and the tech she protected was the key to completing his mission, but also the key to surviving it. Follow the light patterns, she said finally, stepping aside. They will guide you, but beware. Not everything that moves is alive. Not everything that glows is safe. Alex nodded, cautious but determined. He activated his scanning devices and followed the faint pulsing lights that seemed to respond to his presence. Each step brought him deeper into the heart of the station. Panels blinked in sequences, and alien symbols shifted under his gaze. The lights led him to a narrow passage where the energy reading spiked dramatically. Suddenly, the floor beneath him vibrated and a section of the wall shifted, revealing a hidden chamber. Alex froze, recognizing the signs of alien traps. He reached into his pack and pulled out a compact device designed to detect kinetic energy, placing it carefully on the floor. The device beeped softly, confirming the presence of a force field just beyond the hidden door. As he studied the barrier, the figure appeared behind him. "You understand traps," she said, almost approvingly. "Your people have ingenuity. Perhaps that is why my people left you alive on many worlds. Curiosity, cleverness, traits worth noting." Alex turned to face her fully. "I survive because I plan, but I act because I care. That is the difference between living and merely existing." Her holographic form wavered as if she were impressed, and for a moment she seemed more real than any alien projection should. Then she stepped aside, gesturing toward the energy field. "Very well, human, the path is open, but beyond this you must rely on your wits alone. The tests ahead are not forgiving." Alex took a deep breath, activating his suit's shields as he prepared to pass through the field. The hum of energy filled the chamber, wrapping around him like a living thing. Every step he took required focus, intuition, and courage. He knew that failure would mean being trapped, or worse. As he crossed the threshold, the lights of the station flickered and the holographic figure's voice echoed one last time. "Remember, not everything that is unseen is harmless, and not everything that is dangerous can be controlled. Humans, let us see how you endure." Alex reached the center of the chamber, the readings from his devices spiking uncontrollably. The station seemed alive now, reacting to his presence, challenging his mind and instincts. He knew the mission had just begun. Somewhere in the shadows, the figure watched him, her piercing blue eyes fixed on his every move. Alex could feel it, not a threat exactly, but a test, a challenge. He was alone, but not powerless. Every choice, every observation, every action would define his success. And as he stepped forward into the unknown depths of the alien station, Alex Harper understood one thing clearly. Humans had survived countless dangers across the stars, not because they were strongest, but because they were clever, brave, and unpredictable. That unpredictability, he knew, was his greatest weapon. The station hummed, alive with ancient alien technology, and somewhere beyond the glowing panels, the mysterious figure waited, ready to see if the human could meet the trials ahead. The narrow passage stretched ahead, twisting like a serpent through the heart of the abandoned Scifi station. Alex Harper moved carefully, every step measured, his eyes scanning for signs of movement. The readings on his handheld scanner jumped erratically, a warning that the station itself might be alive in some way. The air was thick with tension. He could still feel the presence of the holographic figure, Lyra, somewhere nearby. It was as though she was observing him, testing his every reaction. Alex reminded himself that this was no ordinary mission. The station was ancient, built by a species whose technology humans had only begun to understand. One wrong step could trigger a trap or worse. A sudden flicker of light caught his attention. Panels along the walls shifted, revealing hidden alcoves filled with devices emitting faint pulses of energy. Alex crouched, analyzing the machinery. Some of it was clearly defensive, designed to deter intruders, while others seemed more like surveillance, recording movements and reactions. He remembered Lyra's warning: not everything that moved was alive. Not everything that glowed was safe. He knew he had to trust his instincts as much as his devices. He advanced slowly, placing reflective sensors along the walls. These small devices bounced light and detected heat, helping him see beyond the alien cloaking. Even with advanced tech, Alex relied on something uniquely human: intuition. He noticed patterns in the energy pulses, subtle inconsistencies that revealed where the hidden paths lay. The corridor widened into a vast chamber. At its center, an orb floated above a pedestal, spinning slowly and radiating energy in soft waves. Alex's scanner went wild. The orb was unlike anything he had ever seen. It pulsed with intelligence, almost as if it were aware of him. "Careful, human," came Lyra's voice from the shadows. "That is not just a machine. It is a guardian designed to test those who approach it." Alex nodded, keeping his hand near his sidearm but not drawing it. "Then I guess we are both being tested." Lyra's form shimmered closer, appearing partially solid this time. "Perhaps," she said. "Your kind is clever. I want to see if you can solve this without destruction. Most fail because they act too quickly, too forcefully." Alex studied the orb. Its energy waves created a series of patterns in the air, almost like a code. He realized it was not merely a trap. It was a puzzle, an alien system designed to test intelligence and patience. Taking a deep breath, he activated his portable analysis device. The readings showed fluctuating energy patterns corresponding to specific frequencies of light and sound. Hours passed as Alex worked, aligning mirrors, adjusting pulse frequencies, and predicting energy shifts. Each step required precision and intuition. Lyra watched silently, her holographic eyes following every movement. Occasionally, she offered a cryptic comment. "Not that way," she whispered, as one energy wave threatened to overload his device. "Think differently. Humans are often too rigid." Alex paused, reflecting. Humans were not rigid. They adapted. They used creativity and observation, qualities no machine could replicate. With a sudden insight, he reconfigured the sensors, aligning them to interact with the energy pulses in a completely new way. The orb's rotation slowed, its glow shifting from a harsh white to a gentle blue. "You did it," Lyra said softly, stepping closer. "You understood without forcing. Clever, patient, adaptable." Alex allowed himself a brief smile but stayed alert. He knew this was only one test. The station had more challenges ahead. As he moved deeper into the chamber, the floor vibrated beneath him. Panels shifted, revealing a pathway that seemed unstable. Alex adjusted his balance and advanced carefully. Suddenly, the holographic figure projected multiple versions of herself, surrounding him with images that flickered in and out of existence. "You see many of me," she said, her voice echoing from all directions. "Which one is real? Can you discern truth from illusion?" Alex considered. He closed his eyes briefly, focusing on subtle details: heat, slight movements, inconsistencies in shadows. Slowly, he identified the true Lyra. The other projections flickered and vanished as he approached. Lyra's eyes widened, a rare expression of surprise. "Impressive. Few can do that. Most are deceived entirely." The next section of the station was even more complex. Large tubes crisscrossed the floor and walls, pulsing with energy. Some released bursts of light and heat, while others emitted low-frequency vibrations that threatened to destabilize his footing. Alex used his sensors to map a safe path, moving like a dancer through a maze. Every movement counted. One mistake could trigger a cascade that might collapse the passage or overload the energy systems. Halfway through, Alex paused as a deep hum filled the chamber. The air vibrated and a voice boomed, ancient and mechanical. Intruder detected. Identify yourself or face destruction. Alex raised his hand slowly. I am Captain Alex Harper, human envoy. I seek knowledge and understanding, not conflict. The hum shifted, almost as if the system considered his words. Persistence and clarity noted. Continue, human. But heed caution. Not all guardians welcome ingenuity. As he pressed forward, Alex noticed something extraordinary. The energy system seemed to respond to him personally. His presence, decisions, and movements influenced the pulses, almost as if the station were alive, learning from him. He realized that this was not just a test of strength, it was a test of adaptability, intelligence, and courage. Finally, Alex reached a large chamber with a central console surrounded by floating holographic panels. The orb from earlier was here as well, now accompanied by strange devices resembling crystals suspended in midair. The energy readings were extreme, but manageable. You have reached the core, Lyra said, stepping fully into view. Her form was clearer than ever, almost solid. Few have come this far, most give up or fail to see the solution. Now you face the ultimate challenge, understanding without destruction. Alex studied the console. Alien symbols shifted across the panels, displaying sequences that resembled both language and code. He knew the solution required more than logic. It required observation, intuition, and patience. Humans excelled in those qualities. Hours passed as he worked through the sequences. He noted patterns, tested hypotheses, and adjusted his approach. Lyra remained silent, watching, occasionally offering subtle hints when he strayed too far. At last, with a final adjustment, the central orb responded. Its glow expanded, filling the chamber with warm light. Energy flows stabilized and the station seemed to exhale. Alex stepped back, exhausted but triumphant. Lyra's eyes softened. You have succeeded where most would have failed. Humans, you are clever, patient, and resilient. Perhaps your species deserves a place among those who understand the Zyphora legacy. Alex nodded, still catching his breath. I did what I had to do, but I couldn't have succeeded alone. Your tests pushed me to think differently, to adapt, to survive. She smiled faintly. Then perhaps we are not so different. I tested you, but in doing so, I learned as well. Your ingenuity is remarkable. You may yet prove humanity is more than capable of facing the challenges of the stars. As they left the chamber, Alex couldn't help but feel a sense of awe. The station was no longer merely a relic. It was a living archive, a place that tested and honed those who dared enter. And humans, with their courage and adaptability, were proving themselves worthy of its secrets. Outside the chamber, new pathways opened. Alex and Lyra moved together, a tenuous partnership forming, built on mutual respect and curiosity. He knew the mission was far from over. There were more trials ahead, more challenges that would test not just his skill, but the very essence of human ingenuity. And yet, for the first time, Alex felt a measure of confidence. If humans could survive this, adapt, and succeed, then perhaps there was no challenge in the galaxy they could not face. The station hummed around them, alive, ancient, and mysterious. And somewhere in its core, Lyra observed, waiting to see if this human would continue to rise to the tests ahead. The deeper corridors of the Zyphora station seemed to pulse with life, responding to every movement Alex Harper made. The air hummed, vibrating faintly against his chest as he adjusted his suit. Lyra, the mysterious holographic figure, now moved beside him more solidly than ever, her form shimmering with faint energy. Alex knew they were approaching the station's central nexus, the place where the most powerful technology lay hidden, a place few beings had ever survived. "Are you ready, human?" Lyra asked, her tone calm but firm. What awaits beyond this point is not merely a test of skill. It is a test of mind, of patience, and of courage. Alex nodded. I'm ready. Whatever comes, I'll face it. The final corridor opened into a massive chamber. The walls were lined with crystalline structures that glowed with internal energy. At the center floated a massive orb, larger and more brilliant than the one Alex had encountered earlier. The orb pulsed with waves of intelligence, sending tendrils of light toward the ceiling and floor as if sensing his presence. Alex's scanners went wild. The readings suggested energy levels capable of planetary destruction, yet controlled with precision. He understood immediately that this was the ultimate test. Lyra stepped back, allowing him to take the lead. Observe before acting, she said. Many fail because they rush. You human have shown patience. Let it guide you now. Alex took a deep breath and began scanning the orb, noting patterns in the energy pulses. Unlike the previous tests, this one was unpredictable. The energy didn't just respond to his devices. It seemed to anticipate them, adjusting and shifting in ways that required creative thinking rather than pure logic. Hours passed. Alex worked methodically, mapping sequences, adjusting his sensors, and observing subtle fluctuations in light and energy. The orb seemed alive, testing him, challenging him. At one point, a pulse erupted violently, knocking him off his feet and sending sparks across the crystalline floor. Alex quickly recovered, adjusting his approach. He realized the orb responded to intention, not just tools or calculations, but human decision-making. Lyra watched silently. You see, most would fail because they rely only on technology, but humans, she paused, almost smiling. Humans think differently. You adapt, improvise, and act beyond patterns. That is why you endure. Alex focused on the orb's energy waves, tracing their origin and flow. Slowly, he noticed a rhythm, almost like a heartbeat. He aligned his sensors not against it, but with it, allowing his devices to interact harmoniously with the energy rather than oppose it. The orb's glow shifted from a blinding white to a calming blue, its pulses synchronized with Alex's measurements. Impressive, Lyra whispered. You understand without forcing. You do not dominate, you harmonize. That is what few beings can achieve here. Alex smiled faintly, though he was exhausted. Sometimes, survival is not about control. It's about understanding, adapting, and responding. The orb pulsed once more, then split into multiple smaller orbs that floated around the chamber. Each orb emitted patterns of light, forming sequences that resembled both language and complex code. Alex realized this was the final stage, a test of comprehension and creativity. He worked quickly but carefully, aligning the sequences and connecting energy flows. Each movement had to be precise. A single misstep could overload the entire system. The chamber hummed, vibrating with energy as though the station itself were holding its breath. Lyra's voice echoed softly. Do not fear failure, human. The path you take now is yours alone, but every choice reflects your essence. Alex took a deep breath and initiated the final connection. Light and energy surged through the chamber, illuminating every crystal and panel. The orbs aligned perfectly, their energy stabilized, and the massive central orb shimmered, finally revealing its purpose. It was a guardian and repository of knowledge, designed to test and record the abilities of those who could reach it. The station seemed to exhale, the tension in the air easing. Alex stepped back, awed by what he saw. He realized that the Scifi had left these tests not merely to protect their technology, but to evaluate the worthiness of other species. And humans, with their ingenuity, courage, and adaptability, had passed where others had failed. Lyra stepped fully into view, her form glowing softly. You have proven something remarkable, human. Your species has survived, adapted, and overcome challenges no one else could. That is why you endure where others perish. Alex lowered his sensors, looking at her. I didn't do it alone. You guided me, tested me. Without understanding your purpose, I would not have succeeded." She regarded him silently for a moment. Then, almost reluctantly, she nodded. "Perhaps there is more to humanity than we anticipated. Your creativity, your patience, your courage, these qualities are rare. You have earned not only survival but respect." Alex took a step closer. "Then let this be the beginning. Humans want knowledge, but we also seek allies. We want to learn from others and share what we can." Lyra studied him, her piercing blue eyes softening. "Perhaps that is the lesson of this station. Strength alone is not enough. Cooperation, understanding, and adaptability, these are the qualities that endure. You human have demonstrated all three." For the first time, Alex sensed a connection beyond test and trial. Lyra was no longer just a holographic figure. She represented a bridge between human curiosity and alien intelligence, a possibility for alliance and understanding that could change the course of interstellar relations. Outside the central chamber, the station's corridors opened further, revealing hidden archives, maps of the galaxy and technology long lost to the stars. Alex realized the Xiphora had intended this station as a gateway to knowledge, accessible only to those capable of seeing beyond the obvious, those who could harmonize with the unknown rather than dominate it. Lyra's voice came again, calm and steady. "The station now recognizes you as worthy human. Your species has a place among those who seek understanding. But remember, knowledge is only valuable when used wisely. Power without wisdom is destruction." Alex nodded, feeling a sense of purpose stronger than ever. He knew the path ahead would not be easy. Other species, other challenges, and other mysteries awaited. But for the first time he felt that humans, clever, resilient, and unpredictable, were ready to face them. "Will you stay?" he asked softly. "To guide others who come after, to ensure your knowledge is used for good." Lyra hesitated. "Perhaps I have observed enough for now, but humans may yet need guidance. You have proven worthy, but others will come. They may not be so clever, so cautious." Alex smiled faintly. "Then we'll be ready. Humans survive, adapt, and endure. That is our way." The station pulsed once more, as if acknowledging his words. Light filled every corridor, illuminating secrets that had remained hidden for centuries. Lyra's holographic form shimmered, fading gently as she spoke her last words. "Then go, human. Share what you have learned. Let your ingenuity shape the future. Let your courage guide the stars." Alex stepped forward, leaving the central chamber behind. He had passed the ultimate test. The Xiphora station, ancient and mysterious, had recognized the strength of human qualities: intelligence, adaptability, courage, and creativity. He knew this was only the beginning, a first step into a galaxy that would soon learn that humans were not to be underestimated. As the Starlinks lifted off from Xiphora's orbit, Alex looked down at the station, glowing softly beneath the stars. The tests, the challenges, and the guidance of Lyra had proven one undeniable truth: humanity's ingenuity and perseverance could rise above any obstacle, even the greatest of alien mysteries. And somewhere in the depths of the station, the light of the Xiphora Guardians continued to pulse, watching, waiting, ready to recognize the next human who dared to think beyond limits and act with courage. Alex Harper smiled, knowing that wherever the stars took him, humans would endure, and they would do so not because of power alone, but because they were clever, brave, and endlessly adaptable.